Hi, everybody. Welcome back, and welcome to the new ones, and welcome everybody in the room. How do I sound? How do I sound, Brian?
Good, good. Very clear. Coming through
Good.
clear.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I'd like to get that out of the way right off the bat, so in case I sound funky, everybody tells me right away. Excuse me. I'm still getting through this little coffee, sort of sore throat, chakra opening kind of thing, so I'm really thinking, Joanna, hi, welcome. I'm really thinking this whole throat thing is part of this whole, self-awareness thing. So let's start by saying hello. I'm Wendy with Languages of Lights, and welcome back, and welcome anybody who's come in to our sixth. I can't believe it's 6 weeks have gone by already since we started our 6 weeks of our 7-week Bashar's Know Thyself, self-love program. Actually, it's what they call it is our master tool. And they call it a master tool because, just like every other key, it unlocks the master within us, but yet the key is very simple, and it's been just a small set of exercises that we've been doing every day for the last 6 weeks, and been sharing our experiences and just sharing what self-love is to us. What self-love is to you? What is it, do you think, to the world, to the all that is? And what is it to know ourselves? The process of knowing ourselves, the importance and what does it mean to know who you are, to follow your joy and your bliss as far as you can take it, moment by moment, without expectation, until you can take it no further, and then go on to the next thing and the next thing, without the expectation, without the fear of being true to who you are, true to your core, true to what you know is true for you, that feels like nurturing, that feels like love, that feels like truth, knowing that you are not less than you always thought you were, that you are not only equal, but you're great, you're greater than you ever thought you were, and you're never less. You are no more, but no less than another. That we are all created in equality, in the eyes of Source, in the image of Source, because you're gods and goddesses. You can create and do whatever you wish. With that, I'd like to welcome everyone who's been following, who's in the room today. So I want to say hi and welcome to all of you watching now, watching later. Angie, welcome. Anya, great to see you here. Amran, Brian, Joanna, Stefan, the tree, Valerie. Just love that you all love the energy. Love all of the avatars. That's one of them. I love the fun of looking at everybody's avatars too, because I love the expression of self-love that the avatars show, because don't we all pick avatars that express who we are in the moment, and we change them up all the time, like we change our clothes and our hair color and our makeup and our languages, whatever. So it's all about that, and it's all about becoming more of that trueness, that true nature of who we are, and what is it that we can do in a day to nurture that, and then by nurturing it, expressing it more fully. So, I try to begin my day with the little things. And so when they talk about following your joy as far as you can take it, sometimes we look at it too big. We feel like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean, changing everything that I do in this huge turnabout? And it's not really about the big things happen as a result of the little things, because it's the little things that are the cannonballs, the catapults for the big things. It's the little things that feed upon the next that grow into this place of confidence, this place of security in what you feel is right for you. And even if it's something as simple as like, for example, I love, I've talked about this before, aromatherapy. I mean, I bought a set of these bottles and an inexpensive set of beautiful, pure essential oils and started experimenting. And, spray it in the air. It's people, information. So that creates its own atmosphere, its own space. And so this is just one small example of something you can do that's easy and inexpensive. I mean, the drops go a long way, and a bottle I use distilled water, and it goes a long way. I buy just a gallon, and you can whatever, just make sure it's clean water, but boil it, whatever. But you don't even have to buy the water. But the point is just to enliven your senses and do something for yourself. This one, I love this one too. This was Palo Santo wood that I love to burn in the house too, and ask my guides to come and be with me, cleanse the air, clear my mind, clear my senses, allow me to perceive things that I couldn't perceive before because my mind is cluttered. And we all have clutter. It doesn't matter who we are, what we're doing, what our lives are, what our role is that we've chosen. We all have stuff that we are, and we have to be, and we have to do. And that's part of our journey here. And some of us want to do less of the things, and that's part of the idea of ascension, is working harder. I mean, working smarter, not harder, and doing more with less and in less time. And going to pure products, I guess, that's another kind of a thing too. We've been led to believe that we need 16 bazillion products to purify the air, clean our body, clean our hair, you name it. I don't buy any of that anymore. So for me, that was my act of self-love, was to discover the natural things out there, like baking soda and cleaning with, searching out things that are natural for my environment that make me feel as if I'm taking better care of myself. And it gives us a sense of power that we aren't allowing the television, the media, the thing we've always needed in order to survive, we can let go of those beliefs by replacing it with things that nurture us rather than toxify us. And detoxifying our bodies, our brains, our cells, our homes, I think is part of the whole process of feeling better about ourselves and feeling more in control of our environment. So I love the idea that I choose what goes into my spray. And I can choose, I have tons of these bottles of all different mixtures. I get to play. Different scents do different things. I've got things from lavender to frankincense to this one is a citrus blend that's very enlivening. I use it in my car. And it's that intention too, the intention behind the action of creating that environment, and then knowing that I'm responsible for choosing these things. And there's a lot of products out there that are very pure, that do multiple jobs, and you can clean your hair, your body with them. Some you can use as well as household. But the point is that it's the intention behind the detoxification of our spirit, our light body, our physical body, our minds. And just the idea that we're wanting to purify what we look at, what we see, what we experience, and it's not excluding or lessening any other choice. It's just another choice. That's it. And it's an equal and valid choice. It's just that I've discovered how I'm surprised in my own experience recently of when I've offered the suggestion, say for example, of trying the natural or alternative to something to someone, because they were asking about it. It wasn't that I was pushing the information, it was that I was being asked about it. But the funny part about it is then when the choice is given, it's almost like you can see the struggle going on with the belief systems that, okay, well, if this has been around all my life and I wasn't aware of it before, yet it's so simple, it's got to be too simple to be effective. But yet I can equally believe that something else, toxic or made in a lab, is better, more effective, and therefore better for me. And so the idea is if this is what is important to you, the idea of self-love is to not be afraid to not only use the products that you want to, that are cleansing and cleaning and what you believe are more nurturing and less toxifying, while still allowing others to have their beliefs, but not being afraid to be joked about or ridiculed. Or I mean, I've gotten it all in my own family. You know, you're crazy, you're nuts, that's ridiculous. Yet now over the years, they're all adopting many of these same things. And so I find that interesting, though, that and it's just beliefs. And if we could understand that more clearly, that all of these choices that we're making every day are beliefs about what we feel is going to be more painful or less painful. And sometimes that choice is we feel that sometimes the choice to not be ourselves is the least painful choice because of the perceived reaction. So with that, so far, I love that we're the chats too. That Val, loving olives and already clean with oils and use them regularly. Lemon in laundry is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. You know, coconut oils. One of my best friends, olive oil. I love the natural cleaning products. If I don't want to make my own, there's a lot of them out there. I love to experiment. Part of my self-love process has been experimenting and not being afraid to experiment, because some people, well, it's more expensive. I'm not really, I can't afford to really do that. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, the funny part is that I have trouble expressing is, you know how we've all heard, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Yet, what we don't understand is by actually choosing these things that we consider more expensive, or, well, I don't, you know, I really don't, I can't justify my spending more on a better product or organic or natural or whatever, but yet in the long run, aren't we then preserving our bodies, our skin, increasing our longevity, less time in the doctor's office, less time in the dentist office? You know, when I always talk about that, about my whole dental thing, you know, because to be grateful in the morning, to start out your day being grateful for your teeth when you're brushing them. Because if you've ever had a toothache, or you've ever had a tooth fall out, or missing, or you've had to have work on it, we all know in those moments, I mean, we appreciate our teeth more than we ever do, don't we? Especially if you can't eat or talk, or, you know, I mean, those are the times when the ounce of prevention is worth the pound of cure. Because if you spend more time in self-love, you're spending more time taking care of yourself in the little ways, which end up to be the big ways. And that's really, I really changed my whole dental appointment thing for the last 2 years just by the simple attention, because then taking the extra time and buying the extra electric toothbrush and spending the extra minutes on flossing didn't feel like such a horrible thing anymore. Because when I would remember, sorry guys, when I would remember when I would remember what it was like to sit in that dentist chair, all of a sudden it's a perspective. It's just a, because before the belief was, I'm too busy, I don't care, I don't want to take the, or it's just not even in your radar. Sometimes it's just really not even in your radar. So it's the little things that change, you know, that change the inside, that changes the outside. And the intention that if I'm cleansing myself with pure products, then I'm going to leave my shower feeling more in control. I'm going to feel better about what I'm doing for my body. And it's in that time of the shower that you can say, all right, I'm going to take this sea salt bath, foaming, whatever, and cleanse away any ill ideas about myself that are negative, anything that's not self-loving. Help me shed that in these products that are cleansing me and that are nurturing me, or that I'm eating or that I'm drinking, those sorts of things. So it's about spending that time doing those things, but also not being afraid to be yourself. And I think that not being afraid to be ourselves is the one thing that prevents us, because, or we, in my experience, has even been, I want to buy that thing and use that thing, but the rest of the family doesn't, and well, I don't really want to spend that just on myself, you know. But again, one, you're not, subtract what you're not using of the stuff you don't want. So now you're right there, you can subtract the monetary value of that, but now add in the value of taking that time to be with yourself and nurture yourself. Now there's a whole nother aspect of this, because now you're present with yourself. And sometimes we're even in conflict with the crap we're using. And then we create this weird invisible resistance that we don't even know we're creating, because we're not nurturing ourselves. So now we're using something that, or eating something or whatever, drinking something that we know isn't the greatest. And okay, my belief system says, well, if I really believe that this won't hurt me, then I can eat or drink. And I agree, Val. I no longer use fluoride anything. I do not drink tap water. I found out that boiling it doesn't take it out either. I seek out spring water. I boil my water anyway, but I still know it doesn't take out the fluoride. So I really try to avoid I don't use fluoride toothpaste anymore. I buy a natural and no fluoride toothpaste. Here. And fluoride, for anybody who doesn't know, it's been in our water systems for decades and decades. And for me, that's a long time. And It is the only, and correct me anybody out there if I'm wrong, but I was read and heard and have that fluoride is the only substance known on this planet that blocks our pineal gland. Now, why would we purposely put that in our water? Why would we purposely put it in our bodies? So that's just one thing that when I found out and I realized it, I just stopped doing it. Now, believe me, I've heard the ridicule from my family that I'm crazy, I'm stupid, I'm nuts, and whatever. But you know what? It doesn't matter because that's okay for their belief system, and if their belief system allows them to do that, is it really part of my job or my journey to convince them of something to change their belief system? That has nothing to do with me. All I have to do is do what I do for me, be the example, and not be afraid to be me, spend the money on me if that's what I want. And I have to laugh because, you know, my own son has been the kind of person who, it didn't matter. He bought the expensive thing because he felt he deserved it. He would rather have, sometimes it's about the quantity or the quality and not the quantity, isn't it? Sometimes it's about that one really great treat rather than the 30 or 40 or 50 things that we feed ourselves or give ourselves to nurture ourselves that we think is going to fix the or filling. And sometimes we try to fill our emptiness with things, people that aren't good for us, situations. We create our own realities, whether we want to or not, reality. So we create situations for ourselves to, well, one, to learn lessons, but sometimes we create situations for ourselves that aren't even good for ourselves just to give us the permission to say, to learn. Yes, I deserve that one thing, or I don't need all this other things. I need to find out. I need to figure out who I am. What hole am I trying to fill? What am I trying to express what am I not expressing in my life? What am I holding back? What joy am I not taking to its nth degree? What truth am I not speaking just by being you? And that doesn't mean you got to get up on your soapbox and speak. That's not what this means. It's about expressing yourself without the need for other people to get you. That you getting you is the only thing that matters. And that are covering up that hurt space. So, well, I'm going to get a drink of water. Excuse me. If anybody wants to say hello, chime in. What do you do for love?
I was just going to say that it keeps locking up on me. I don't know if it is anybody else.
Is it you? Is it everybody else? Is it me?
No, just every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, freezing. Okay, yeah, all people are having that problem, it seems.
It's probably my internet connection. It's been pretty flaky here. Sorry, guys. I'll try to, if I talk slower and I don't move around as much, it helps. Otherwise, I have to go off camera. It does. It's weird. If I move around a lot, it goes whoa.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll try to be more still. Thank you, Val. Though, thank you. I appreciate that. I'd rather know.
go ahead and take a little break, and we can talk amongst ourselves, I think, for a couple minutes. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say right at this point?
I think we should like try and sue the government.
Sue the government for the for the fluoride.
Not just for the fluoride, for everything. Because it's gonna happen someday or another.
I don't know if
So,
suing them is going to do it, though. I think that now that we know better, I think that spreading that knowledge is a good thing, so that more people can find out that they probably shouldn't be buying toothpaste with fluoride, that there are some brands available without fluoride, that you can make your own. There are steps to take that we can avoid these kinds of things from happening. The biggest thing that bothers me is that there are a lot of people that don't have the time to read or be on the internet even because of how much they work. I used to be one of those people too. So to talk to people a lot is a necessity. Spread the word as much as you can, and especially to those who you know work a lot, maybe don't have time to be on the internet to find out more information.
well, someday the government is gonna get sued anyway for this. So like, why not try and take the chance now? See
Well,
if
I
it's
think
the
we
right
just need to
time.
change the government. Vote differently. Make your voices heard and try to spread the word as
And
much
you
as
know,
possible. Money isn't always the answer,
way
like
we do
suing
that
somebody.
too is, well, and it's our choices in the things that we purchase that actually speaks volumes, because that's how these companies operate. It's by their bottom line. And just simply by us choosing alternatives, we don't even need to speak against anything. That is speaking to them, saying, I am choosing an alternative. And that's where it speaks to them the loudest, because it's all about, to them, the bottom dollar. And that is
Yeah, I
where
mean, the same
we...
thing's happening with natural foods or not. I mean, they've decided not
Oh,
to label it,
exactly.
right? But I mean, anybody that really cares about their food is going to make sure what's in the food that they're purchasing. And for me, I like avoid the middle of the supermarket because most of that stuff is pre-made in a can, in a box, whatever. And so I'll skirt the outsides of a supermarket. To me, that seems the safest,
Yep.
best way to shop.
They tell you that too. When you they say that when you shop, try to stick to the perimeter of the store, because that's truly, usually the healthiest items are all the way around the edges. Good, very good point. And sometimes it's as simple as that. It's just, and love too is about making all those choices that we can do. And touching on the whole affording to do that, because a lot of people say, well, I'd like to choose organic, but I can't afford it. And sometimes it's about, one, that it's better for you, therefore in the long run it's better for you, and therefore cheaper because it's going to be healthier for you. But again, that whole thing is, if we can remember that we're creating our reality by our frequency, then by telling the universe, I can't afford that, you're telling your universe, I can't afford that, and I want more of that. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. So
And here's
now
another
we
thing about
want,
that,
now...
if you don't mind me saying,
No, go
Wendy.
ahead.
Another thing about
Mhm.
that affordability or not. I mean, I live on a fixed income for the most part, but you can grow your own
I do
food.
too.
And I mean, you can do other things that will make it so that you can eat right. I mean, there's just so many options. There's the farmer's market.
The
And
food
that it's like,
co-ops
if
now,
you
they
don't
have
eat
food
right, it's
co-ops.
like a pay now or pay later thing. If you don't eat right now, you're going to be paying your doctor
Exactly.
later, and it's a lot more painful for
And
you as a
it affects
body.
everything.
Yep,
It affects everything. It affects your hair, your skin, your eyes,
exactly.
your teeth, your gums, your intestinal tract. It affects your cells. Every bit of your cells are affected by it. So, like you said, pay now or pay later. And just by making these choices, they've got a lot of food co-op things now all over the country where if you help out a community garden like one day a week, you all share in the benefit. You all reap the benefits of the beauty of the bounty. You know what's in the food. It's fresh. It's not being driven a million miles. Now, I understand that there are things we can't get in our country. We want those fruits and vegetables that we can't grow here. They just don't grow here. So there is going to be that influx of that. And then there's that intentional cleansing with your mind and your body, your intentions, the foods that are out there that you do eat, there is a huge power in that intention of cleansing your fruits and vegetables or the food that you're eating with. I clean my fruits and vegetables with either vinegar and water, or I clean them with baking soda. And I keep the
Like
baking
apple
soda on the
cider.
counter.
I was going to say apple cider
And
vinegar
apple
is
cider,
really good.
yep, apple cider vinegar is excellent for that too. So there's a lot of things that and so even if it's something that I know is not as pure as it can be, I will actually do a little intentional, I just cleanse it really quick with my baking soda or my whatever I'm using, or I'll soak a whole bunch of them in a big bowl of, apple cider vinegar and water. And I just say, cleanse away any impurities, any pesticides, and it just, even the intention of it just makes me feel better. And then I just say, please just allow just what my body needs and the goodness of these items, and please let me not absorb or eliminate that which is not serving me. And it just, that little bit of ritual just helps me. It's just how everything's a permission slip anyway. So if it makes me feel better, then I do it. And it's kind of that simple. And one of the messages that they wanted to talk a little bit too about was unplugging, and unplugging ourselves from our technology. And a lot of this evidence came up this week with a few articles about new illnesses that are new debilitations that are coming up from our, just using our technology on a daily basis. And so one of the big messages too about self-love is the multi-layeredness of what we are looking at on the internet, what we're watching, what it does to us physically with our hands, the pressure. It's 60 pounds of pressure down just at a 45-degree angle with your neck, 60 pounds of pressure on your spine, your neck. Now, you know how much we do that all day. We all do it, whether it's our phone, our tablet, our PC, even if it's a book. We're all doing it, and now we're doing it while we're walking, while we're talking, while we're visiting with our family. We're not present. We are looking for validation outside of ourselves because we can't trust what's in here. And sometimes we turn to technology because we don't trust what's in here, and we're looking. And I am encouraging people to go out there and look online for the things that bring them joy, the channelers. I have playlists on my YouTube channel that are the people that have been a dear part of my journey. I have playlists of the channelers, of other light languages. I put them out there for other people to look at because they've been a part of my journey. But what we're talking about here is balance. And we're talking about taking the self-love practices that are also undoing what we're doing to ourselves physically with our new age of technology. And it's all of it. It's the hands, the wrists, the neck, the eyes, the arms. It's just our backs. We sit a lot more now. So the idea is, part of self-love is making those commitments to get up and move, get up and stretch, breathe. When even just us sitting here in a hangout for an hour or two, we're not breathing. So I invite everybody right now, just take a nice, deep, huge, relaxing, cleansing breath. And we're going to do one more time, really deep. Now, for most people, you're going to feel a huge rush from the oxygen and that release of energy that has been building up here and in here and in your hands and everywhere else. And unplugging allows us to let go of the physicalness of our new technology and undoing what we've been doing all day. And that neck, and just for a little while, look up at the stars, look up at the sky, look up at the trees, breathe, listen to the birds, hear the things you don't usually hear. You know, the dog in the distance, somebody's telephone ringing a mile away, you know, the motorcycle, or maybe you're in a place in bliss and country sounds and there's no sound. And that's all you hear is birds. You know, let yourself unplug, because you're unplugging the pipes of your chakras that you're closing all day by not allowing yourself to unplug from technology, from what you feel are the answers out there, not listening to your heart, not hearing your spirit guides. So we have to unplug our pipes and unplug our chakras. And by unplugging that, we start to see ourselves in new ways. We start to feel new possibilities. We start to see new images in our mind that couldn't get in because of the clutter. We start to be able to feel things differently. We start to be able to, as Val mentioned last week, about where you actually notice that bee taking a bath, or that bird, but the point is that it changes your perspective on everything else, and it gives you a clarity that helps establish a new vibration when you come back, so that you're ticking at a different rate. You're at a different vibration, and we then begin to trust more of what we're hearing. We start to allow things to enter in that didn't enter in before. So even then, now, when we do go back and we ask with intention, now, what is it that I need to do and hear and see, and who do I need to interact with on the internet? What information do I need to glean? And now the time you're spending on the internet is more intentional, and it's more fulfilling. You're being more selective about what you're allowing in, and as we touched on a little bit last week, and allowing that to Now change the things that you are attracted to. And I've even found myself in the last few weeks being more open to things I hadn't looked at before. So it also helps us see our world in a different way, and it allows us to incorporate more of what we really need, rather than knowing. I see I'm getting slow. I'm going to just turn my camera off just for a little bit, because it probably won't lag so much. Is that a little better, I hope? It causes us more to be in the now and being in that joyous place. You know, when we unplug, hear our higher self. We look to the outside to solve our inner puzzles, but yet only to discover that, you know, we're more puzzled than when we started, because we're asking for information, but oh, is it still lagging, guys?
Yeah, it's still lagging.
And Stephen, can we just talk for just a second? I just wanted to tell you that I myself, oops, hold on. I ended up with company right now, and my dog went nuts. But anyway, I was just going to say that Wendy and I both have been dealing with a lot of different things over the last few years with having injuries on the job and such. And mine has been pretty intensive, and it's lasted for a really, really long time. Well, the thing I just found out that is wrong, I have had all along. So I've had this now for 15 years.
Okay, yeah.
So, but I deal with this every single day.
Yeah.
And in order to deal with that, you have to change your mindset, or you'll end up like, I don't know, really depressed, or, you know, taking a lot of drugs or something to that effect. So I guess what I wanted to speak to you about is changing the way that you think, because your mind really does have so much more to do with how you feel than what you know right now.
Okay.
It actually has everything
Wendy
to do
can
with
speak
it.
to
Everything.
that too. I will let Wendy take over.
Yep. And that's exactly true, Val. Is it changes everything, because everything we've ever known about know thyself begins with the two words I am. And we have learned through so many different channelers and I'm sorry, you know, ascended masters, guides that have been, you know, through the courses of history, that have said, I am that I am. And that's what that means. Everything we say after I am becomes our reality. And self-love is the very core of self-love, is stopping the way we talk to ourselves and the way we talk about our bodies, the way we talk about other people, and everything, all of our resistance that we have, these things that we call things that we have, like these illnesses, these chronic situations, are because of resistance of some form, which are beliefs that don't serve us. Every form of resistance is because of a belief that doesn't serve us. And by knowing who you are and finding the core belief systems that are truly about finding self-love, are the beginning to eliminating disease in our human collective consciousness. It is everything about what we say and everything about what we do as a result of what we say, because our actions are directly related to what we believe, and what we believe is what we think. Thoughts are things, and thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs become the basis, the foundations of our actions. And so therefore, when you, exactly like Val said, when you change your thoughts, yes, please, go right ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, so if I understand correctly, you say and act differently than what you are experiencing.
The thought changes your experience.
Okay.
Yes.
So like
So
for me,
instead of,
staying creative, that works for me because my mind stays really busy doing what it loves.
Yeah.
So the pain doesn't
yes,
exist in that time.
correct.
Yeah, I've had a few times that.
Very well put.
happened.
Very well put. That, thank you. That, you hit it. You got it, Val. The pain does not exist when you're in that place. And that's why they say take your joy as far as you can take it, moment by moment as far as you can, even if it means changing what you're thinking, and do everything in your power. That's what self-love is. Doing
Yeah,
everything in
get
your
out of,
power
they say
to
get out of
change
your own
it.
head, right? Like
Yes.
get out of your own head, get out of those circling thoughts of pain. Do something else. If you look around, you'll see there's others so much worse off. And yet here we have the Olympics for people who are disabled.
Yeah.
If that doesn't open your eyes to tell you that there is a way through, just have to find it for yourself. You just have to
And
find that
there's,
passion for you. What drives you? Sometimes it's something completely
and I,
different than you've ever done.
exactly. And that's what it is too, is self-love is about being open to, okay, I never did that before, but that doesn't mean I can't try it now. And when you do something like that, you get excited, you change your frequency. All of a sudden, you're no longer even thinking about your pain. And the way to change that too, the simple part is, I've had a bunch of surgeries, and I've had shoulder problems but see, I don't even talk about it anymore. I don't say it. Just
There you go again.
Well, if you don't really tell yourself the things like she's saying, and you think about other things that are your joy, things that drive you forward, then your mind just doesn't go there. It's just not,
exactly.
it just doesn't exist
It's
in
not
your
part of
reality.
it.
Yeah, your
And
reality
I
just
just started
changes.
saying, when someone would ask me in my past, oh yeah, you had all those shoulder problems, those surgeries, and I would say, oh, I'm fine, I'm perfect, I'm healing. It's not even a part of my existence anymore. I drop it like a hot potato. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, because as soon as I do, I go back to the memories, I go back to the pain, I go back to remembering what it was like every time I had to go through it. You relive
Yeah, I was going to say,
by
when your
not
mind
being,
remembers it, your body remembers it.
your body, yes. Every time you relive it, your body goes back into the frequency, and it reminds yourself, oh yeah, I have fibromyalgia. Oh yeah, I have this. Oh yeah, I have that. Instead of saying, I'm healing, I'm on the mend, I am. What are you? What? So now we move into saying what we do want and not what we don't. You can
And
walk up
don't
to
listen to
somebody
the
and
doctors.
say,
And don't listen to the doctor's sad prognosis. I'm serious. I
No.
wasn't
or
supposed
they'll,
to be
yeah,
able to walk without a walker,
you're,
Stephen, and I do.
yeah, you're in, cure. You're in 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 Nothing.
I think she gets excited and moves too much.
Yeah.
But but anyway, you're getting the gist of it, I hope. That
Yeah.
this is the answer for you, is to, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know if you can even work right now because of
No,
what's
I
going
can't.
on with you.
No.
So it's a great chance for you, and it was for me, to wake the hell up. Excuse me, but that's the way it worked for me. My life
Okay.
had to change. I had to change everything I did in my life. And I am saying it changed for the better. And I found out that the stress I was under too also helped to put me into pain.
Yeah.
So avoid stress as much as you can. Look for your joy and just live it. Do it. You know, you will come out way better, and you might even be able to heal yourself. It's
I
not
hope so.
unusual. It's not, like it's never happened. It can happen. So, just keep that positive attitude going, that you're on the mend.
All right.
And
will
I'd like
try.
to add too. Oh, go ahead, Stefan.
No, go ahead. I was just saying that I will try. I did make some changes recently, so yeah, I do get what you're saying.
And one of the beauties of our higher selves is that they help us in our spirit guides. For example, you're here today, and maybe you planned come, maybe you didn't, but the point is that you're here today. And our spirit guides bring us places to give us new information that we've been asking for, even if we weren't consciously aware we've been asking for it. And so sometimes we have to trust that too, that I know that if I put the intention out that I want to feel better, that I want to heal, that I want to never utter those words again about my body, and that I really want to be living that reality, please show me what it is I need to do and who I need to see and interact with to open that part of me to believe that I can change anything about my body. And also the acceptance that that experience is part of the lesson you came to learn, and that sometimes we have to say out loud, okay, if I haven't learned this yet, what is it that I'm doing that's preventing me from moving on from this experience if I don't enjoy it anymore, if it's not serving me anymore?
Very nice.
And it will be revealed to you. You will know simply by asking, and the synchronicity, like something will happen where you'll just know, oh, this is the answer. This was the thing, that piece of the puzzle was missing for me that I didn't have before. So sometimes we don't even realize until after the fact that we got the answer, didn't recognize it because we weren't always present. You know what I mean? To actually hear it. And then we go, oh, that was the answer. Okay, I get it now. And then that leads to this new joy and thread. And I wanted to mention that elaborate on what Val said too about that time when you're in joy, reminding everyone that, as Bashar said, when you're in that time space of joy, you're not aging.
Yeah.
You're not experiencing time the way we experience it in 3D reality, because you're not in 3D reality now. Now you're in that new fourth dimensional of that frequency. So now you're not experiencing time the same way. Therefore, you're not aging. Therefore, your physical car that you're driving, that's inside of your skin, that's how we need to think of these as our cars. These are our time travel vessels that have parts and components just like oil pans and motors, and we have things that we need to maintain, just like it's just our spaceship. So if sometimes we need to put it into that context too, that, okay, if this was a mechanical thing, what would I do? How would I attack the problem if it was a mechanical thing? Because everything's energy. Your energy, your car's energy, your house and your table. We already know that. So we know that that's how people can walk through a wall literally, because you become the actual, like, GPS frequency coordinate of the wall, which allows you to frequency match it and walk right through it. It's not really magic. We know that now. It's not a freak of, we know it's about science. It's about energy. It's about physics. It's about what you say is a thing. It's an energetic entity. It's a being. As soon as you release something into the air that didn't exist before, you've created something. It didn't exist before, did it? A song that was never written, a poem, a movie, a score, a book, it didn't exist before until somebody put it out there. Either wrote it, said it with a voice. It didn't exist until it was thought, and then the thought became a physical being. Our thoughts, our bodies, are a physical manifestation of our thoughts. They are the physical, energetic, illusory reflection of our current vibration, which is accumulation of all of our thoughts and beliefs. So if we can understand that our thought is the actual mechanic, it is the actual mechanic behind the creation of your physical reality. Now that's a huge leap for us, huge. And our belief systems are having trouble wrapping our minds around this. We all are. We're not alone in this. This is what ascension is. We're all trying to figure out how the hell this works. How is it that what I think becomes something? If I need a new car, I want a new car, and I'm going to do everything. I'm going to act in every way as if that car is mine. I'm going to go look in the paper. I'm going to think about what it feels like to live there. Do the same thing with your physical spaceship car that you call your skin and your body.
Hey, you know what, guys? I have literally done that in the last 3
Woohoo!
We have a house that's a beautiful little home that's, perfect for 2 people. We have a new car and a new truck, and everything will be paid off completely in 6 years.
Oh my God. Oh
So,
my God.
you know what? It can be done. Just dream it up. Dream what you want and get it in your reality in a price you can afford. That's
And remind everybody, Valerie, just really quick, where you came from as a child. Nothing.
Oh, hey, yeah, no, we had nothing. I mean, my mom would gone for a long period of time and leave us a 50-pound bag of potatoes, and I mean, we would be in a home that had been abandoned or something like that with no heat, things like that.
But the beauty
it was
is
something else. But you know what? I manifested.
But that's not the story anymore.
At that time, I didn't even know what I was doing, and I manifested me to be able to move in with my grandmother. I didn't even know how I was going to get there, but I dreamed about it all the time, and that's where I ended up, was living with my grandmother for several years and my grandparents on their farm, and my life completely changed from then on. And I totally manifested, I swear, so many things in my life. I just didn't know what I was doing. And now I realize what I'm doing, so I really make sure if it's something that I really, really want, need, desire, and it won't hurt anyone else. That's the biggest thing.
That's a beautiful way to put it, too, is now, we're always unintentionally manifesting. Now awareness and self-knowledge and self-love is about intentionally now manifesting rather than doing it by accident. Because before, we thought it was someone else's will. We thought before it was happening to us because of a reason we were told it was because of outside reasons, outside belief systems. Now we know that's not true. Now we know we get to take responsibility for what happens. And now, like Val said, we intentionally now say, I want that. I'm gonna sit here for 10 minutes and I'm gonna envelop myself in the idea of that new job, that new relationship, what it smells like, what does it feel like, what do I wear, what do I look like when I wake up, what do I do? Do I wake up and meditate? Do I, am I living in balance? Am I living in harmony? What does my life look like? And
honestly, you can think about it, like, not even just taking that 10 minutes out, but you can really just keep it on the really in the front of your brain kind of thing. Like it's just with you all the time. As if you already are looking for a car, then that, and you have the money for it, then all of a sudden you will find a way to get there. It's a strange thing. Don't be set on how it's going to happen. Just know it will.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Let go of how. Isn't that how we put the stones in our path? We go, well, then I have to do this. Then I got to get this job. Then I got to do that. Oh, but then. We do nothing but throw the how. That's not your job. Your job, your mind is not designed to figure out the how, the when, the where. You muddy, we prevent it from happening, because as soon as our 3D mind can't wrap around the how, it stops the process. Because you're like, if I can't figure out how it's going to happen, that means I don't believe it's going to happen. That's faith. That's saying, like Val said, it's done. Okay, if I can visualize it, that means I'm already of the vibration of it. I thought it. Now it becomes a reality. Now all I got to do is not do that thing I do to figure out how it's going to happen, because that's what throws the stone in my path. That's your universe's job. That's your higher guide's job. Your job is to follow it when you feel it, follow the instinct. When the situation presents itself, walk through the fear. I've never done that before. I don't know how to do that. I've never tried that before.
But once you've been through some of the things you've been through in your life, Wendy has, I have, you have, Stephen, you can do this for yourself. You can walk through
absolutely
that what do you call it? A portal?
Yes, walk through the portal. It's about self-belief. It's no more than that, you guys. It's about self-belief. It's nothing. The portal is the one that goes inside. It's the portal that allows you to believe I can do anything. And if I don't know how, I'm going to ask spirit guides, God, anyone that you feel is your higher, self. How do I do that? If I don't know how do I do that? Show me. I don't know what to do.
And pay attention.
Exactly. I'm afraid.
Pay attention to the signs too. Once this starts rolling, you got to go with it. It's just like going with the river.
What if this happens? What if they said this? What if I fail? What if my spouse says this? What if my child does that? What if they react with
Drop it all.
What?
Drop it all. Just
so
let it flow.
What? And what if I make a decision that isn't good for me? Then you can turn around and make the opposite decision. So what? It's not a failure. It's an experience. It's just an experience. Just like going through pain and surgery and all this shit that we go through, it's an experience. It's a valid teaching experience. And you're in the master class, and to be a teaching master, you've got to master what it feels like to go through this crap.
That's exactly how I feel, Wendy. After going through all the crap that we have gone through, both of us have similar stories. We're both very thankful for those things. Very, very thankful for those people.
I am.
Exactly.
I am so grateful for all that. I am so grateful for the shitty stuff. I'm so grateful for my surgeries. I'm so grateful for all that, because without it, I could never have been here today. Never. I'd still be going on my mouse wheel, my hamster wheel. I'd still be going, why can't I change my life? Why do I suck? Why can't I be everything I want to be? Why do I hate myself? Why can't I break this habit? Why can't I stop this behavior? Why?
Or just simply, why did this happen to me?
Why did this happen to me? Why did I choose
Like there's
this?
an outside force or something.
Like, yeah, like, well, this is God's will. You are God! That's the point! You're the God who willed it. That's what these guys are trying to tell us. You guys are the gods that willed it. Thy will be done. Get it? Your will. You are the God. That's
We
the
are the ones
point.
we've been waiting for.
We
That's a
are the
really
ones we've been
strong
waiting
point.
for. That's what this is about. You are the one you've been waiting for to meet. You. I couldn't find you, Val, you, Stefan, any of you in this room could not have found you till I started looking for me. It wasn't until I found me that I could find you, and I haven't even found all of me yet because there's a whole bunch of yous out there I haven't met yet. And
Exactly,
you're all
because
me.
we're all one.
You're all me.
We're all each
You're
other.
all,
We're all mirrors.
yes,
And once we
you're
start
all
to
me.
communicate what we know and what we feel, what we dream, we're going to learn to connect as one force, and then we're unstoppable.
And we already are, we just don't know it yet. See, that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it, guys.
Yeah.
We already
Well, the
are one
government tries
force.
to keep us fighting, different things try to keep us fighting amongst each other so that we won't
If we could, we
unite.
should have one flag. Human, Earth, one. We're
Well said.
just humans. We're just humans. And we're all going on about this path a different way, but we're all finding each other. Every one of these people in this room, once again, came from a different perspective, yet we all ended up in the same room. In the end, we're all the same because we all are created from the very same one thing. It's just we're all just a different reflection of that thing. And then every damn day we're a different reflection because we realize we're something new and different. And be okay with letting go of who you were yesterday simply because that's who you were yesterday. So what? So what if you're different today? If today you decided to have different color hair and different color skin and wear different color clothes and change your religion and change your beliefs, who cares? Go do it. And if it's wrong, there is no wrong, because if it's wrong for you, you're going to know it. You're going to know. It's just not going to fit. And if it fits today, it may not fit tomorrow, and you got to be okay with that too. Let it go if it doesn't fit. We spend so much damn time defending where we are and why we won't let go of something than we do than we do that. Just let it go. Something better might just come along. You know damn well you can't fit more clothes in your closet till you get rid of the crap you've got. You can't fit anything new in your life until you get rid of the crap that you don't need anymore. If it doesn't fit, let it go. And if you can storage, put it aside in your head and say, okay, I'm really not ready to let go of this, but okay, I can come back to this if I really want to. I don't have to let go of anything, because remember, it's just an illusion, guys. You can't let go of something. It never goes anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. You're not separated from anything. It doesn't leave. You just change. You just stop looking at it. So put it in the closet and say, I'm just not going to look at this for a little while, and then I'm going to say, if I really, really want to revisit that belief or that behavior, that mindset, it's okay. I can go revisit it. I can go be that person again. It's not leaving me. I'm just going to say for a little while, I'm going to go experiment at being this other being that feels kind of good to me. And if it turns out in a couple of days or weeks or months or years that being that being doesn't feel good anymore, then maybe then I'll stop being that being. But maybe for right now, I'm going to give myself permission to go be that being for a little while and see if it fits, see if it feels good. I'm going to go tweak my engine. I'm going to go give it a bath. I'm going to go give it a new paint job. And I'm going to go see what it feels like and looks like. And if I don't like it, I can always go back. I can always move back to my hometown. I can always go buy that old car again. I can always go back to that same belief. I can always go back to the people that I used to rendezvous with that were in my world of pain. Because you know what? I've been there. There's a lot of comfort that I got from those people when I was in pain. A lot of comfort. It was hard to let go, to say, I'm going to go stand on my own now, because those people brought me a lot of comfort, but now I'm not in pain anymore, and I don't need those people. I don't need that behavior. I don't need that drug anymore, but I don't know how to let go, even though I know it's not good for me anymore. So sometimes if we don't know how to let go, we have to ask, how do I let go of this so I can let in the new? And you'll know. And we often just forget to even ask. We just forget to ask. Oh, well, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to believe. Go back to that. You can always go back if that's really what you want. But I guarantee you, the higher you go, you're never going to go. Isn't reading a children's book just a little less challenging once you go into high school and you're little, or as a parent, your kid wants you to read to them, and okay, the book's not challenging. You've read it a million times. You understand the lesson, but so you don't need that information anymore, but your kid does. And sometimes we need to be reminded every now and then of the old way. But you're never going to go back to the person you were before. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. It just doesn't. Today, again, and I will say this in every hangout, none of us were the same moment by moment than when we came in this hangout. None of us. We are not the same vibration. We're not the same people. Billions of times per second we're changing. And with every new realization, sharing, enlightenment, knowing you're connected, knowing you're not separated, knowing you're powerful, knowing we all have the same shit on a different day, we're never the same again, because we've shared, and we're a different level of knowing now than we were before. And you can't unknow what you know. You just can't unknow it. You can't unknow, your letters once you know how to read. You can't unknow that stuff. And as you learn, and as we share, we learn more things, and it creates a new thread that you didn't explore before. And by exploring that new thread, you're just uncovering a new layer of who you are that is pretty magnificent. And if it turns out that you shed some light on that thing that, oh my God, you just want to shut the door on and run away, well, there's the thing that needs the light. And all you got to say is, yep, that's me. That's something I really need to take care of. I really need to look at that. I want your help. It's time to uncover it. I'm not afraid, because there's nothing to fear. If I suck at this thing, show me how to not suck at it anymore, because I don't like this feeling anymore. Help me conquer this thing. Let me show myself that I don't have to believe I can't be alone. Show me I can make it on my own. Show me I can make it doing the thing I love to do every day. Show me I can be supported. If I can be supported by a job I hate, please help me. Show me believe. Show me my belief system that shows me I can't believe that I can be supported doing something I love, or that I can't be in a relationship that's good for me, or that if I leave this person who's not good for me, I'm not going to make it. I know that's not true. I know that's not true, but help me believe it's not true so I can move beyond this fear. We're all in this together. And your spirit guides are just a breath away, a telepathic message away. Say it out loud. It's stronger. It's louder. Your thoughts are things. Your thoughts and your beliefs are nothing more than a thought you keep thinking over and over. If we can understand that truly is the actual mechanics of our reality, of creating our reality, we would understand we're not only not victims, but we can change anything we want. And can ask. Ask it is given. Truly, it happens every time. And you know, this going within gives us the time to actually be still and assimilate all the information that you've digested. A lot of times we don't even give ourselves the downtime to absorb the information we've been given. We watch a video, we listen to something, we go right on to the next thing, and we really don't always give ourselves a chance to absorb it. And that doesn't mean not to go on with your life, but sometimes we need to just step back for just a couple of minutes and allow ourselves to really assimilate what we've just experienced and to try to experience it from another perspective, which is a lot of times we experience something differently when we're in it than when we've come out of it, listen to it later, reflect on it later. It gives us that opportunity to just sit in that new perspective for just a couple of minutes, because a lot of times it doesn't take long. As soon as we hang up the phone, close the computer, leave the hangout, it doesn't take us long sometimes to step back into that vibration, because we get scared again really quick. And we forget really fast how powerful we are. We forget really fast when we don't have our support system right there, that we can't do this alone. And you go right back into the fear, right back into the looking outside for the answers, instead of taking the time inside to listen and write down the words you hear. It doesn't have to be a novel. It doesn't have to be a sentence. It doesn't have to be, just write the word, the name, whatever you hear, write it down. It's going to be an answer, a thread, an idea, and it's something new to experience, an invention, a way to take your joy that you never thought of before, a way to market what you do in a new way, a way to sell that thing you sell. A way to confidence in what you do already well. If you already love what you're doing, then how can I be better at this? How can I be more successful, more abundant? How can I take the thing that I love to the next level and give it new excitement? And that's anything. Your home, your relationship, your environment. You know, take that. If you can't afford to move, change your environment inside to get the frequency going of a new place. Cut out pictures. Start a vision board. I started my experience a few years ago just doing a vision board and posting my vision board on Google because I was too afraid to let the world know who I was. But I could easily post a picture of a vision board that was safe. It was comfortable. It told the world this is who I am without me saying anything. Start somewhere. Post a picture. Post a little idea you had online. Start the juices flowing. Get in that vibration of knowing you change everything, and you can, by changing the little things about the self-love stuff every day, I'm going to, and you know what? Start looking for a new job while you've got a job, because you are more marketable while you're working than when you're unemployed. Don't wait until you're so pissed off that you've manifested yourself right out of a job. Now you're forced to get in the job market. Do it while you're comfortable. Do it while you're confident. Do it while you already have a job. Start looking for a new house, a new apartment, a new relationship while you're trying to change your belief systems. Start a new class. Do the thing you're afraid to do. Start a yoga class. Do a meetup. Get out of your comfort zone. It all builds character and confidence, and you forget about your pain, you forget about the story you used to tell, and this also gives you all a new opportunity. When you meet somebody new, you don't got to tell them crap. You don't got to tell them what diseases you have. You don't have to tell them what ails you. You don't have to tell them anything. You get to start brand new. You get to start as if you are this person, you've never met them before, who who do I really want to be? What do I really want? I get one chance to make a first impression. What's the first thing I want this person to know about me? What's the first thing when somebody walks up to you? What's the first thing you want to know about them? Do you want to hear about their medical history? Do you want to hear about their shitty childhood? Do you want to hear about their aches and pains and ailments? Do you want to hear about how their mother-in-law's pissing them off and how their kid's a drug addict? Probably not. Now, I'm not saying not to share our crap. That's not what I'm saying, and I think we all get that. The point is you get to be who you want to be every minute. You get to decide what you want to share with the world and what you want to say after I am. I am pleased to meet you. I am happy to be in this new environment. I am happy that I tried something new today. I am. What do you really want to say after I am? We get to be new anytime we want. So now let's ask ourselves to step past the fear and walk beyond that place that we weren't able to say I am before. Let it go. And see what happens. And I think you're going to wake up and find that what you thought you weren't capable of letting go of before, and again, ask whatever it takes, whoever it takes, whatever you relate to, whatever you relate to. I asked Archangel Michael, help me cut these cords that are not serving me. Cut the cords of these addictions, these behaviors, these relationships, this pain, this idea that I'm less than another. Cut these cords, these beliefs. Let me see this belief as an umbilical cord stuck to me and strung out and on the end of that, and the other end of that cord is the thing, the belief, the behavior, the job, the relationship, the addiction. Put at the other end of it, put that thing, and then just ask them to come and sever that root, that cord, that umbilical cord that's keeping you tied to that belief. And watch it being severed as if it was like I don't know, just you pick it. I like using logs. I like, and I love trees, don't get me wrong, but just look at it as that heart-beating umbilical cord that's tied to a belief system that you don't want tied to you anymore. And that as soon as you see it cut, you see the life going out of it. Literally falling off as if a child is losing their umbilical cord when they are born. As anybody who's seen this happen, it happens. Look at it that way. Watch it.
I think we lost Wendy for a second again, but she should be right back. Seems to have been able to return every other time.
Oh, sorry, guys.
There she is.
Sorry, but I think you get the drift, right?
It's all good, Wendy.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
you know how it is. It just we are our own worst enemy, but we are our own most powerful tool. We really are. And we have each other to help remind us who we are and how we're here for each other to help us dissolve these things that don't belong and serve us anymore.
Things that don't belong in our head anymore either.
Yes. And
it's time to clean house.
Yeah, it is. It's time to clean house. At the end of the day, you've got to assimilate these things and let it sink in and give yourself permission to apply permission slips. And that's awesome. To know that you're awesome, I love that. The tree said that, I love that. I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm pretty damn awesome. Why are we so afraid to say that about ourselves? That's what these self-love techniques are about in the morning and in the evening. Why are we so afraid to say, you are freaking awesome? Now go be awesome and believe it. These are so, these little sayings that we do every day are that frequency of I am. I am loved. I am supported. I am a child of creation. I am a beacon of light. I am, every time we do these in the morning and in the evening, we're substantiating I am these things. I am abundant. I'm supported. I am loved. I'm guided. I'm free. I'm unique. I'm worthy. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm refreshed. I'm powerful. I'm free. I visualize this beauty in my mind. I hear this beautiful sound in my head, in my heart. I'm rested. I'm connected. My life is a dream come true. And I love the twist that I put on it when I said my dream is a life come true. Because our dream is our life come true. Our dreams are our lives coming true by manifestation of thoughts and beliefs. And that truly is, we have that power, and yet we're so powerful, we can come here to forget that we couldn't do that, or simply for the joy of remembering, the process of remembering the joy of ascension, joy of experiencing that remembering. And one of the keys to first contact is knowing ourselves, remembering our power, remembering that we stop time by being in joy and bliss. We change our reality in that joy, in that time where we actually freeze time. And this is a good metaphor for the internet freezing. We freeze time by our thoughts, by being in joy. We don't age. We change our cellular structure. Talk to your cells. Talk to your stem cells and tell them to go attack the stuff that needs healing. Tell your belief systems to believe that I can change the structure of my cells. I've done that many times. And I've healed in tremendous leaps and bounds once I finally believed that I could do that. And when you unplug, you skip, some of this understanding that, you are always talking to your higher self, whether you're talking to somebody on the internet or any other way. You're always in communication with your higher self, because we are a reflection of each other's higher selves. And self-love is your heart is an entity, and it has an intelligence. It is its own living and breathing, thinking entity that is the true gate, and it is the true portal of your existence. And all information is processed in the heart mind to distinguish what matches your core soul vibration. And it creates an emotional response to the information that acts as your compass needle to direct you by way of joy or pain, to lead you always, always in the direction in which you perceive to be less painful and closer to your core vibration. So the pain and the sadness that you experience is simply your heart mind telling you that your higher dimensional counterparts are showing you that you're feeling something about yourself in that moment that is not true and never will be true. Let that be your compass. That self-love, that emotional response is your compass, and it will always show you what you need to do, when you need to do it, and it's always based upon this formula. It never fails. It will always guide you. It will always lead you on the path of least resistance, for that is your natural core vibration. Peace, calm, clarity, knowing you're being guided by yourself and your guides, other aspects of yourselves, and those that agreed to be together with you, to be each other's reflections of self-love, to be each other's guides. Self-learning is the ability to learn from yourselves, which is each of us, and all that you have been, for you contain all this information stored within the all, stored within you, and it's always accessible to you. It's your belief systems that prevent you from feeling that you have access to all of this, all of the knowing. What I know you know, and what you know I know. We know it inherently. It feels familiar. It rings true because it's everything we want to say that we don't know how to say. And it feels true. It gives us an emotional response of pure love when we know something is true for us. It's undeniable, it's unmistakable, and even when we try to force it to be something it isn't, it's undeniable, and it will always lead you back there. Even if you feel you've gone away or gone astray or left something, because you really don't leave, you just change your perspective and your perception, that's all. And so you'll always come back there. It will always lead you back there. So you can't do it wrong, because even if it takes you on a different journey, you'll be better for it. You'll be greater for it, even if it leads you right back to where you started. And that's okay too. So every question that you have and have ever posed, the answer is there waiting for your discovery. It's there. It's not there. Allowing yourself to be guided moment by moment and using that. That's your new compass. Use it to that which is what you perceive to be the most exciting thing you can do in that moment, until you can take it no further, without expectation, and seeing the wonder of the world that you can create. For you are powerful enough to create the reality you're in, so you know you're powerful enough to create another reality. So you can, of course, then create everything you do prefer. If you know you have the power to create that which you don't, then you, of course, have the power to create what you do. So just, thank you for being you, and the best you, by way of knowing how to be moment by moment by following this formula. And this portal of self-discovery will just simply open automatically for you. You'll discover yourself, and by inspiring another, just by discovering yourself, you inspire another, and then by inspiring another, it reflects it back to you again and again. It's this constant feeding of each other in reflections, and every time we discover something new about ourselves, we get another new, awesome new reflection That's something new that we never knew existed before, and a power we never knew we had before. And that again is the precious gift of self-love, is giving that gift to another and discovering it for yourself, walking through the fear, and sharing that with someone else. Because as soon as you share that self-discovery with somebody else and they see it and you see that spark in them, it lights up everything. It lights up everybody, and it changes the whole human experience, and it changes the entire frequency of the entire human collective consciousness. So that is my reflections of the last week or two that I've been given and writing, and has been kind of mulling around in my mind, and things that my spirit guides and the Shakani and have been wanting to share with all of you today and in these weeks now, and for all later who watch this and hear these words and start this anytime on your own. Go back to the beginning if you haven't started yet. I think the idea really is at the end of this 7 weeks, these 49 days, that again, that's Shakani Sassani's favorite numbers, 13, transformation, and 49, 4 and 9 is transformation, and it equals 13, and that's their idea of transforming, and we really will transform at the end of this and realize that we just like, hi Liliana, welcome, and welcome to all of you who've come through and have been listening and sharing, and Stefan, I hope that these words and this frequency has helped you to take the next step. All of us, all of you feed me, in the same way. So if I open the floor for comments and blessings, I'm actually going to take just a brief moment to take a breath and a drink, and leave you all to just chat for just a minute, and then we'll have some blessings and close. But yes, Liliana, hi. Did you want to say hello and did you want to start us off?
No, hi. I just want to say hi, but thank you for doing this. And no, just I can even feel you guys whenever you guys are, together. Like my energy change. So I am grateful for that and for all of you.
Thank you, Liliana. I think maybe Wendy is rose again. So does anyone else have any comments or blessings that they would like to say today?
I would like just to say thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. It was a good conversation that I'm sure that you were guided to be here today to receive. And I hope it helps you from here on out. Is there anyone else that wants to share anything? Brian, I know you've been listening intently.
Yes, I have. Do you want me to sing a special Brian song? I can sing one of my, it's a very familiar song. Some of you may have heard it before. It's called Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Yes,
I'm here, guys. Uh-oh, did we leave Brian alone with Row, Row Your Boat?
Yeah, it's coming. It's in the making.
Uh-oh.
Live and in stock.
Go for it,
you guys
Brian.
can jump in. I'll sing it together. I'll just do one verse here. Are you guys ready? All right. I hope I come through okay. Row,
Gotcha, Brian.
row, row your boat gently
Row,
down the
row,
stream. Merrily, 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 merrily.
gently down the street.
Life is but a dream.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And that it is, guys. That it is. It is but a dream, and your dream is your life. And dream big. Don't limit your dreams. Don't limit your thoughts. Don't limit your beliefs. If you can create what you've already created, you can create bigger and better and wonderful things for yourself. It's all
Namaste.
about believing and knowing that if you did this, you can do it, you can do anything. And I don't want to leave my camera on because I'll probably freeze. So and I wanted to thank all of you again. Debbie, who couldn't be here, all of you who have left comments, who wanted to be here and couldn't be here. I just much love to you. Thank you all for once again being brave enough to walk through your own fears, to not be afraid to uncover them, to shed light on stuff. It's not about dark, dirty work. It's about shining your light on it and stuff to light that you just want to clean out of the corners, you know? They're just dust bunnies. They're just old clutter, you know? You don't need to beat yourself up about stuff. They're just experiences. We all chose things because we all had a really specific, unique, special path and journey that we all needed really special tools for. And each of us who is in the master class, because you're here, or you wouldn't be here, watching, listening, participating, thinking any of these thoughts, vibrating at this level, you couldn't be. You can't imagine what you're not the vibration of. So if you think of something better and imagine it, you already know it's there because it's done, because you already thought it. So know that. Walk away with a little bit better confidence that you know this now, that you discovered a new, even if it's just a little glimmer of new power within you that you didn't know you had before. Or at a minimum, a support system and people who can help each other remind ourselves of that power when we forget. And reminding ourselves that even in our darkest times, you're not alone. You're never alone. You've never been alone. You never will be alone. And that icky feeling you feel about yourself, or those unkind words, or that feeling of lack, that feeling of lack of confidence, of know that it feels icky because it's your higher self telling you. It's not true. It's not true. It's never going to be true. And anytime you have that fear, that is the indication. The fear is nothing but the compass, the indication that something needs to be addressed, that you have a belief that's not congruent with your core vibration. That's all fear is. It's just an indicator. It's like a left turn signal. That's it. And it's just a signal that says you're going this way. Do you want to go that way? Does that really feel like the true thing, the true way, does that feel correct? Does that feel like your true north? And you can go that way if you want, just like in your car and just like in your spaceship. You can go the wrong way and you can go around the block and you can ignore the GPS and you can ignore the map and you can go on a really awesome, great journey. Level, your irritation level, your fear level, because all of those they determine your frequency. So if you've ever been lost and freaked out, you know how it feels. I've been there.
Okay, we must have lost Wendy again, but I think that everybody understood what she was saying. Is there anyone else that would like to comment or say any blessings today? Are you back, Wendy?
So I'm
There
back.
she is. There she is.
I'm back, and with that, I've probably let anybody say what they want to say, and that's probably my signal to say, let everybody go now.
Okay, Wendy. Well, thank you so much, and it's been a great session, and a lot of things were shared that were very necessary. We love you, Wendy. Thank you for
Oh,
doing
I love
this
you
for
guys.
us.
I love you all so much, and thank you, Val, so much for being here and lending your love and your kindness and your voice and your support. And thank you for jumping in when I need a break or a drink or whatever. I appreciate that so much. I love that you just in and take control. So Liliana, Angie, I'm just so happy. Oh, Johannes, hi. Stefan, the tree, love it. Valerie, just again, Johannes, glad that you're able to join us. Is there anything you wanted to chime in before I do a blessing?
No, I just came in. I forgot about this hangout, so I will just join the last minutes of it, and I'm gonna go to sleep too. So I just want to send my love.
Oh, good. Well, good. Then I
So
will
great
leave
to
you
hear your
with.
voice.
Yes, it's always lovely to get your energy. Always lovely to have Johannes hop in, and he's a great energy to have with us, and light languages and all of the above. So thank you so much, and I just love you all for participating, commenting, being here. Those of you who have been out there the last 6 weeks, letting me know that you're doing this, that you're cheering yourselves on, that you're cheering me on, and that you've been watching, and even if you hadn't started yet, that you're gonna start. That's so exciting. um, and again, this is for anybody to do anytime you want. The instructions are there anytime. And next week would be the final week of the Hangouts as far as the follow-ups go. But it's not by far the end of Hangouts, in general, as far as things I will be doing, we all will be doing. There's lots of other exciting things that we are all not just one thing, we're many things. And as many of you know, I love galactic languages and hangouts, and I hope to do more of those and more with my friends, many of you that are in here in this hangout. And, thank you all for just being there and being out there and putting yourselves out there, and everyone else out there that, yes, Liliana, the very first, I'll reiterate for anybody who's just coming in, the very first video that I did outlining the whole thing, and it's just a little set of things you say every day in the morning and the evening, 7 days a week. They're different every day of 7 days, but you repeat them every week for 7 weeks for 49 days. And at the end, Bashar has basically said that we will transform ourselves. We will not be we will be different at the end. And I know that that's kind of a cliche, because of course we're all different at the end of every minute, but the realizations that these little just self-love exercises, and it's just you say 3 things to yourself in the morning, in the mirror, and in the evening, and that's it. It's nothing more than that. It takes a couple of seconds. And the very first video was laid out on July 7th, and it's called Know Thyself, and it's the first one, and it explains step by step the instructions. Maybe when we're all finished, I will maybe get them all transcribed out. But for this exercise up to this point, the very first video is on my channel, on my YouTube Languages of Light's YouTube channel, in which this video is also being broadcast, as have the last 5 of our Hangouts following up on the very first one. We've done a Hangout every week, and we've recorded them. And I kind of started them out as an hour, but I sort of let them flow and let them go as they are. So some of them are a lot longer. And they started on this July 7th, and we went successive every week from there forward. So this is our 6th week. Next week will be our 7th and final hangout. But after that, you know, I would welcome anybody to continue any of this. And it doesn't have to be this necessarily, but just all kinds of hangouts about any of these subjects that we've talked about, because each one of these that we've talked about in the last 7 weeks, and honestly, even in the last couple of hours, you can take every one of these subjects and blow it up into a whole, yes, I will, okay, for everybody, just so you know, I'll put the link for the very first video. I believe I put it in this event as well, and I think I put it in the, I will also put it in the body of this YouTube video, the first video, so everybody can, you know, catch up on the first one. And there's also a link to the very first video on the event page. I did put that, I think, for every event. I think I put the link for every event to the very first one, which outlines the whole, you know, the what to do every day. And but you can, you know, what, so if you so you can just watch that one real quick, and then that way you can kind of fast forward it and stop it and make notes. I made notes in a notebook. That way, for every day, I had it written down. That way, I could. It was easier to go back, because every Monday you do something, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and so forth. So every Monday you have to go back and look. Oh yeah, what was I supposed to say on Monday? That kind of thing. So that way, I wrote it all down for myself. And the reason why we didn't type it out was because when I asked the Shakani whether or not it, you know, to do that, they said it's better if you handwrite it to yourself in your own little notebook, along with keeping your own progress in your own little journal about just ideas that come to you. And it may not have anything to do with the hangout, just new ideas, new understandings, maybe new telepathic messages. Maybe you met a new spirit guide. Maybe you were introduced to an ET. Maybe you were introduced to the idea that you maybe want to try something new. Just write them down. And they're not necessarily to share, it's to follow your own progress, to see who were you 6 weeks ago. I think a lot of us, we forget who we were last week and yesterday, let alone 6 weeks ago. We really forget all the progress we've made in a week, let alone 6 weeks. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit sometimes for the things we've learned that we forgot we learned. So don't be so hard on yourselves, and you know, be the olive branch. I love olives, you know, put out the olive branch of peace, of harmony, of even if it's just walking around being who you are, and not saying a word. That's all we need. So, and yes, Liliana, did you want to? I love this thing that you're doing, Liliana. So, do you want to mention it really quick?
Oh yes. This is Liliana. I just want to map the human colonies, and I would like to have the address in of each one of you, so I can map, and that way we'll know where we are. I just need the address so I can map everyone, and to know that way we'll know who we are close to, and we can see each other. You know, well, I mean,
exactly.
Personally,
and it's just a place in the country of where you are in the world. All we're trying to do is, or what Liliana actually offered to do was put together, because now we're starting to meet each other all over the world, and we're getting ready to have, well, it's been in the talks that we've been working on meeting people all over the world, and all of these, sometimes it's on an energetic, like a solstice or an equinox. We recently did one in the Sarah did one where she met a bunch of people in the Netherlands. We did a retreat recently in Arkansas. We have friends all over the world, so we want to start being able to meet each other 3D. So Liliana said she thought, well, if she put everybody on the map where we all were, like I'm in the Chicago area, for example, temporarily, and then I'm going to be relocating. So that way, we can get to know, like, oh, if we want to do traveling, we know that, okay, there's like 4 or 5 of us in Texas, or, there's a bunch of us in Europe. I believe they're talking about doing a Europe get-together here pretty soon in near the Netherlands, or in the Netherlands. The location, I think, was being discussed. So because there's a bunch of people that, friends and Human Colony members and so forth. If you're not familiar with Human Colony, I'm a member of Human Colony, which is humancolony.org. It's a spiritual community of like-minded people who are interested in the stars and their ET connections, galactic languages, channeling, just discussing these higher dimensional things. So it's really fun to meet each other. And so anyway, that was kind of what Liliana was doing. So if you're interested in letting everybody know where in the world you are, we would love to know where you are so we can all start to actually meet each other. And it's really funny because a few of us now that we're starting to branch out, we have actually had a few members that not only, I said to one gal, I said, oh, you got to meet so-and-so, she lives near you. And then a couple weeks later, she says, you're not going to believe this, she works with me. I never knew her. She works at the same place I work. Now, how do you like that, guys? Now, I live in the United States. She lives in Europe. Now, I met this woman in Europe, and I said, oh, you really must meet my friend in Europe. She lives near you. And then she sends me a message a couple weeks later, oh, I met your friend. I said, oh, you did? You're not going to believe this. She works where I work. No freaking kidding, you guys. So it doesn't get better than that. I don't even live in the same country, and yet we were introduced to the same people, and they work together. Now, I mean, we've got tons of people who are finding each other city and city and city, and they're like, what the heck, are you kidding? We had somebody in a hangout the other night. They're like, what? I'm in Texas. What? I'm in Austin. Really? I'm in San Antonio. No way, I'm in Austin. They were in the same hangout, didn't know each other, never met before. They live in the same city. So that's what we're talking about is if you feel alone, there's probably somebody right in your own hometown or right near you or within a breath away, an hour's drive, a bus ride, or at least a minimum a Google Hangout away. Get in touch with each other. And that's what self-love is about too. Don't be afraid to reach out and send me a private message if you want to hang out privately and you want to learn languages, or don't be afraid to send somebody else and reach out. Find them and send a private message. The worst thing that'll happen is they don't have time, they don't resonate, whatever. So what? You're no worse off than you were before. Move on to the next person who is your frequency. Don't take it personally. Just move on. So that's kind of was the gist of it. So thank you, Liliana, for being a sport and wanting to map us all and so that we all can find each other. So that's kind of what it's all about. So part of self-love is coming out of your shell, coming out of your little comfort zone, and meeting the people that are in your backyard that up to this point you've been afraid to talk to in person, or even hang out with, or even turn your camera on. And all that's okay. Everyone's where they're at. But, we're here to be with each other. So, Johannes, sorry to get the blessing in time for you to go to sleep. Much love. And with that, if there's anybody else who'd like to give any kind of a comment or blessing, with that I will leave that with you, and then I will close with one myself. And I think today, because I'm trying to be a little bit more authentic and also incorporate a little bit of all of my higher selves, I think today, for the first time, I will leave us with a galactic language blessing. So if there's anybody else that would like to say anything or leave with any language of any comment or blessing, please, I invite you to. Thank you all again for being here today. That's okay, Amran. Would love to hear it, but thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for being here and bringing your energy, all of you. I am blessed for knowing you, for being in your energy, being in your presence. I'm greater for this experience. I'm greater for knowing you, greater for being here, connected, realizing, remembering our connection. And thank you, Amran. Thank you all out there who began this journey with me, who jumped in the middle, who are just beginning today, who haven't even started yet. And, you know, the Shakani, the Sassani are out there. They are a place of exalted living light. And many of you know I love to close with many of my blessings with timeless living light in my comments, because I believe we all are products of timeless living light. And we're here forever, and we rendezvous each other. We bump into each other as little light beings, sometimes for a really brief time, sometimes for decades, sometimes telepathically only. But we're all greater for knowing each other, and we're all greater for sharing our experiences. Be mindful of the reflection of what you want to put out to the world. What do you want to reflect of who you are? What do you want to show the world? What do you want to tell the world? What story do you want to continue? What story do you want to begin? Where do you want to go from here? What do you want to keep with you that you love and nurture about yourself? What do you want to let go? What are you not willing to let go of that you want to? We're all here to help each other do all of those things and expand the universe by expanding our self-awareness, our own expansion. When we expand, everything expands. And when you expand, you give another permission to expand, and everything changes. Every cog changes every piece of the clock, of the time, of time. It changes every reality. It changes every fiber of creation, of reality, of the matrix. If you can really expand your awareness into that, you change everything. What you do, what you say, changes not only your reality, but by changing your reality, you change your timeline. You change all of reality. You change what other timelines and others existing in other timelines have access to. What you experience, you're sharing with every other experiencer of the one experience. And everything's being fed back to the one experience. And if you can really open your mind to that, it's not you, but not just you and me, not just everybody in your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country, your continent, the human collective. All eyes are on the human collective consciousness. All eyes in the universe, in the multiverse, are watching us to see how we do it. There is no other place that plays this game that we do. We are the master class. You are the master. You are attending the master class. You are the master teachers. You are the master experiencers doing this 3D experience than the multiverse is. And people are waiting in line. I say people loosely. There's energies waiting in line to take turns at this experience because it's so fragile and it's so short in time as we know time, as they understand time. You get to do it a bunch of times, but now we get to remember all the information we brought with us, and now we get to remember all of it and be better for all those experiences and forgive all those experiences and retain all the information. We get to You know, that old saying of, gee, I wish I, knew what I knew growing up that I know now. Well, now we get to do that. As masters of this universe now, guess what? You get to remember all of it, and you get to take it with you. Or you get to decide you want to come back. But you can take it with you now. Everything changes now. We get to remember who we are. And that changes everything. And that changes how every other universe looks at us. And how every other civilization looks at how we handle this side of humanity. What do we want to focus on? What do we want to put our intention to? What little things every day do we want to do to change the big thing? Because what we do in our everyday lives changes every other thing around us. It changes everything we buy, who we vote for, who we don't vote for, what happens in our politics, what changes in our country, what changes in our universe. You change that just by being the better you, just by knowing who you are, just by discovering and acting upon the beautiful being you are. And the more you know yourself, and the more you find out what you don't like about yourself, the more you find out what you do, what you are. Embrace that too. Embrace it. Don't hate it. Don't push it away. Say hello. I love you. Thank you. Goodbye. We're done. Thank you for the lesson. I'm moving forward. And I take you with me because nothing's separate. You're always there with me. I can always return to you. You're never gone. I love you. Thank you. You're always here in my hip pocket. And if I want to go back, I can, but I don't have to anymore. And with that, I leave you all to be better than you were the moment before. And knowing that you are strong and brave and powerful, and you have every single bit of every single thing you need to do, what you need to do, when you need to do it. That's abundance. And when you can see that clearly, without exception, then you know you've changed, evolved, expanded. Nalitiana katalianta kashola hasuna. Tiala hesa naka tanyaniana ukura sati. Samiala hatu taliana kia sanaka. Paniala sati kanora halaru makayama. Aluru kususahia takilatu malki. Minayala hasayolako mayuna. You have been famous. But you are always you. You're always you. Nilaki nayosotoleasana. Cordial. Your niche. You are like no other because you are made to be like no other. Yet you are all made in the hands and the creation and the image of the one creator being because you are all God. You're all powerful. Thy will be done. Know thyself and know thy will be done always. Be intentional creators and know that you are limitless. Nakalia Sanyana, Lakoyana Hisa. Mahala Namaste. We are one light and one love, with you always. And with that, I leave you all good night, and we will leave the air. And if you wish to stay and chat, please do. And know that I all love you all, and thank you all for being with me today.